You shout it out, but I can't hear a word you say. I'm talking loud, not saying much.
Nandito ngayon ang convener ng think tank group ng kay Presidente Duterte. Actually, without the knowledge of so many people, na before nag-start ang Duterte government, ay meron ng tinatawag na think tank group. Actually, itong cluster na to ay very valuable cluster for President Duterte. Kung mapapansin nyo, ang bilis ng aksyon ng gobyerno. Kasi merong parallel organization. Hindi lamang sila. Actually, yung cluster na to ay divided into several clusters. Kaya yung nakikita nyo, ito lang yung overt. Pero meron din covert. Pero ang totality niyan ay etong umbrella.
Una-una, nagpapasalamat po kami sa pagkakataon na ito na makaharap ang ika nga ho, the representatives of the 4th Estate. So, bali ho sa rangko, kayo ho ang ika-4 na pinaka-importante sa ating bayan. At totoo po naman yon, kaya ho kami nagpapasalamat for the opportunity of being with you this morning because we are actually launching this think tank convener for Duterte governance. Papakilala ko ho ang ibang mga kasamahan namin dito. To my left is our Vice President for Programs, si Ike Seneres. Kapatid po siya ng dating Secretary ng OFWs, no? And unfortunately, he passed away just before the election. Kaklase po siya ni Presidente Duterte, no? We also have with us another Vice President for Operations, Porong Herrera. The other Vice President, unfortunately, he cannot make it because he's out of town in Tarlac, is the former Yusek Andanar, Wency Andanar, who is our Vice President for Development. And finally, the other Vice President is Rene Florencio, a civic leader as well as very much in business. To my right po ay si Ruben Yambot, siguro kapatid ho ninyo siya.
Kapatid niya Sagani Yambot ng Daily Inquirer.
Yes.
Ito, si Ruben.
Inunahan na naman ako nitong ating kaibigan. Ako ho, wari ho ako pagka may mga ganito mga pangalan sa presidential kasi ina-identify ho agad kung sino yung alin yung hot shit surito and you cannot get away from it. He is the brother of the former Isagani Yambot of the Philippine Daily Inquirer. We also have a representative, the biggest group of the clusters dito ho sa aming think tank. Ito ho yung clusters ng mga beneficiaries. And I have with me one of the urban poor leaders who comes from Batasan Hills, si Romy Magramo po over there, Secretary General of the Koalisyon ng Maralit at Tagalunsod para sa Palupat Babae.
In brief, can you explain to us ano talaga ang purpose nitong convener na ginawa nyo?
To start with, this is a people-initiated NGO, non-government organization. And very clearly in our brochure, I was hoping that one of our conveners, si Bong Labora po, would be able to come on time for the fresh from the oven po yung aming brochure, no, an 8-page brochure regarding this particular think tank convener group. It's a movement. It's a people's movement. And so we are not in any way, or we are at arm's length with the government. It's totally private initiated. And the idea, well, it's multi-partisan. It's not non-partisan, but multi-partisan, because right after the election, we opened the doors for anybody who might have supported other candidates besides President Duterte. It is multi-ideological. For our chairman, subject to his confirmation, our chairman candidate is no less than Nene Pimentel, but it is still subject to his confirmation. And he is the one who is also heading the cluster on federalism. So we consider him as nasa kanan. On the other hand, our co-chairman is Nilo Tayag, a former NPA commander. To my surprise, after so many years of not having met him, he is now a bishop of Aglipayan. So that is the profile. And then of course we are also multi-sectarian, open for anybody except maybe my friend here, Eric, because I don't know whether he is really religious or belongs to non-believer at all. To update you, to my surprise, when we started inviting people who have the expertise on different issues, different ideas on how we can help the government of President Duterte, we have invited more than 90 experts and knowledgeable people, and to my surprise, 84 of them as of today have already been on board. In other words, they have accepted on voluntary basis to be members of the different clusters, and we already have 28 clusters that are classified according to the different issues and concerns of our government. As a matter of fact, I invited no less, and I am going to introduce him now, the cluster on science and technology, as to give you an idea very briefly what are the topics or what are the issues that we have been deliberating on and discussing before we recommend this to the office of the President. Our direct access, because I have personally been coordinating with him even during the campaign, is no less than the Secretary of Cabinet, June Evasco. So all the recommendations that we will submit, this is addressed to the President, but attention, Secretary Evasco. And speaking of recommendations, I have the here with me, and I gave a copy to Eric. The first folio, we call it Folio A, that already included the first 3 recommendations to the office of the President in time, as our timeline, in time for the SONA. And we have taken note of the fact that the President did mention, to give us an idea, that the 3 recommendations are being considered. As a matter of fact, the first recommendation, and very briefly again, our Vice President for Program will tell you about our first recommendation for the SONA, and that is what we call 24/7 open governance. So I'll give him the floor later to explain very briefly, together with the proponent under the science and technology cluster. I repeat, we already have today 28 clusters on several concerns and issues. And I'm referring to Dr. Roger Posadas, former Dean of the College of Science in UP, also the former UP Diliman Chancellor. He will also very, very briefly tell you one of the recommendations of that cluster that is now under consideration for the next timeline. And that timeline is the next 100 days of the administration of President Duterte.
Doon sa Science and Technology Cluster, marami kaming mga kasamang mga siyentipiko doon. Ang chairman namin ay si Dr. William Padulina, dating secretary ng DOST. Ang isa sa mga proyekto na pinag-uusapan namin ay ang tinatawag kong Da Vinci Project in honor of Leonardo da Vinci, na alam nyo ay isang artist, scientist, inventor, engineer. So ang Da Vinci Project naglalayon na magkaroon ng mga kumpol-kumpol ng mga industrial designer, mga visual artists, innovators, inventors sa bawat region para magsagawa ng mga bagong produkto. Ito ay ini-implement na sa Region 4A, Calabarzon, sa Region 4A ng DOST. In fact, ang isa sa mga bunga ng project na ito ay yung salamander, amphibious tricycle, na na-demonstrate dun sa TV program na Drive ni James Deacon. Ito ay angkop na angkop para sa mga baha. So sa bawat region, ang objective ay magkaroon ng cluster ng mga interdisciplinary designers and innovators. At ang pag-identify kung anong mga produkto ang di-develop ay mga yung nasa region, mga DTI office sa region, NEDA, DOST, kaugnay din ng CHED at saka TESDA. Isa ring proyekto na pag-uusapan namin ay yung sa urban farming na gagamitin ng hydroponics para sa food security ng mga poor communities.
Actually, the truth of the matter, ay marami na nagagawa yung cluster nila na hindi lang pwedeng ipagyabang kung ano to. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo, every time na merong nangyayari at merong mga kapaltakan yung ilang mga bata ng ating presidente, ay the next day nagagamot kagad. Try to analyze it. At yung sinasabi ni Dr. Posadas ay halos yung sinasabi natin dito sa ating forum na kung tayo, kung compare na natin yung mga ginagawa ng Israeli, kibbutz type of operation, na within the community, nandun na lahat. Pati yung pabahay, nandun na rin yung trabaho, farming, everything, nandun na sa area. Nakapelo ng ginagawa ng Iglesia ni Cristo. Ay, ito yung halos pattern sa ginagawa ng Israel. Pati yung nandun ka kanina, hydroponic. Na yung mga bahay, pwede kang magtanim. Mabubuhay yung mga halaman na pwede kakainin kagad. Ang gaganda eh. Kailangan lang talaga implementation. Kailangan lang talaga mayroong kapareho ng kanilang organization na may mga NGOs na aalalay para hindi malubak ang isang unit ng isang gobyerno. Na kitang-kita naman natin at this point in time ay nagiging very effective kay Presidente.
Yeah, ito ho ang isang project na we are about to launch. We have already we are creating already the committee, and that is the hydroponic and the coalition ng Maralitan Tagalansod, mostly squatters in Metro Manila, that's Kumalapa, will undertake this jointly with the Science and Technology, particularly the proponent of this, Dr. Reyes, who is a biologist, a doctor in the field of biology. It's the latest technology, when it comes to hydro farming. Pwede ho silang magtanim kahit sa ibabaw ng bubong ng scientist nila, so that they can have supply of vegetable for their own consumption, and then if they are organized as cooperatives, and many of these 350 urban poor organizations in Metro Manila alone can actually make this even as a livelihood of their respective communities. So we are already organizing the committee to implement this on a pilot in some of these squatter areas in Metro Manila. Let me now call on Mr. Seneres for an update. When we submitted our first folio, we call it Folio A. Every time we submit recommendations to the Office of the President, we will call it Folio A, B, C, etc. The first folio that we submitted in time for the SONA, the proponent of which is our Vice President, as I said, Mr. Seneres, whom I consider to be an IT wizard. After we submitted this, we were already called by Malacanang through the undersecretaries of both June Basco, and this is the latest, only it was last Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, and they sat down already, and they are now seriously considering the full implementation of this.
Okay.
The 8888 and the 911 is only part of the comprehensive proposal we call 24/7
Galing sa convener yun.
good governance, no?
Alam niyo, hindi na kailangan ipagyabang itong si Ike Seneres dahil ito'y mas sikat do sa kapatid niya, sa totoo lang. At ito ang dating head ng ating computer center sa Campaginaldo. Kaya alam niya, pati yung mga hacking operation nilulusot sa kanya.
Ang hirap yata panindigan yung wizard. Ibig sabihin ng wizard, matanda eh. Before I talk about the technology side, sasabihin ko muna siguro yung philosophical background ng open governance, no? Dati-dati kasi, bago dumating si Presidente Duterte, ang citizen, tatawag sa gobyerno, pinagpapasa-pasa yan. Kung minsan umaabot ng 5-6 na tao ang kakausapin mo di ba? Tapos uulitin mo yung sinasabi mo, and in the end, sabihin sa'yo, ay, absent ho yung in charge. Tumawag na lang kayo bukas. Matatawa si ma'am kasi sir. Di ba totoo yun? Opo. Okay. So gagawin mo ngayon, tatawag ka kinabukasan. Finally, papasa-pasa ka pa rin hanggang nakarating ka doon sa in charge. Sabihin sa'yo ng in charge, mahabang papaliwanag ho, pumunta na lang kayo dito. Okay? So, pumunta ka na, kaya nagkaka-traffic Nagagastos ka sa pamasahe, merienda. Pagdating mo doon, pila. At pag minalas ka, lunch break. Pag minalas ka pa, susungitan ka. Totoo yun, di ba? No one here can refute that, di ba? That's number one. Number two, pag may kailangan ka sa gobyerno, ang una mong gagawin, maghanap ka ng kakilala. Maniwala kayo sa akin, ako, foreign service officer ako, 20 years na akong wala sa DFA, hanggang ngayon may tumatawag sa akin, ay, tulungan mo naman ako sa passport ko. Di ba? So, hanap ka. May kakilala ka ba sa NSO?
Pahingin tulong sa panalo sa loto. PCS
Pati yan, ang trabaho ko sa PCSO, IT. Pero, ang daming tumatawag na friends of a friends na nagpapatulong. Parang ayaw na lang dumaan doon sa normal channel no? Sa tingin ko, parang yan pa ang isang reason na nagpapatuloy yung patronage politics
Correct.
Kasi sa probinsya, sino lalapitan mo? Si Mayor, di ba? Ako bala dyan. So, lumalakas yung influence ni Mayor, no? Yan po ang philosophical background. Ang gusto naming mangyari dito sa think tank, sa paper na sinabit namin sa Presidente, hindi mo na kailangan ng kakilala. Wala nang palakasan. Kahit sino will get the same treatment, no? At sa halip na ikaw mag-follow up, ang gobyerno magpa-follow up sa'yo. Naranasan nyo na ba yun? Sa dental practice, actually, yung mga mahuhusay na dental offices, tatawagan ka, ma'am, your dental appointment is 1 week away. Would you like to book in? Yan ang gusto namin mangyari na one day, makakatanggap ka ng notification sa mobile mo, ma'am, okay na ho yung application nyo. Okay na ho yung receipt nyo. Pick upin nyo na lang. That's what we want to happen. Now, Yung naririnig nyo sa dyaryo, sa TV na 8888 at saka 911, those are actually voice solutions. Tawag ka, sasagutin ka ng call center. No? Yung pinresenta namin, mayroong kasamang voice solution, pero may kasamang non-voice, no? May kasamang video conferencing, may kasamang live chat, at saka may kasamang in-person. So yung system na pinresent namin, kapareho ng banking. If you bank, you go to a branch, mayroong over the counter, may teller doon. Yun ang in-person. Pero kung ayaw mong pumunta sa branch, may phone banking. Di ba? Kung ayaw mo ng phone banking, may internet banking. Kung ayaw mo ng internet banking, mayroong mobile banking. Ganyan na ang mundo ngayon eh. No? Ngayon, kung ayaw mo yung apat na yon, mayroon pang private banking. Pupuntahan ka sa bahay mo. Yung pupuntahan ka sa bahay, kapareho lang yun ng house calls ng doktor. Can you imagine mayroong nagpupunta sa yung doktor? Yan ang house calls. No? Maybe we can work on that later, ka-Alex. No? But okay, to continue my explanation, yung pinresenta naming proposals, yung voice component, hindi lang landline, hindi lang mobile phone. Kasamang lahat ng voice technologies, including Viber, Skype, FaceTime, Magic Jack, name it, tatanggapin niya. Ang advantage nun is kahit yung mga nasa abroad, pwedeng tumawag. And the reason why we are calling it 24/7 is talagang all the time, anyone can call. Yun ang mantra eh. Anyone can call anytime from anywhere using any available device. Okay? Kahapon, nakipag-meeting kami dun sa mga taong in charge ng 8888 at saka 911. Nag-agree kami na yung calls na not related to complaints. Ang 8888 kasi complaints eh. Ano mga calls na not related to emergencies, no? 911, sasaluin ng bagong system. Yung bagong system kasi, para i-converge na lang natin yon. Ang technology nun, from the IT perspective, it is really nothing more than customer relations management. Science na po yun. Kompleto na po ng software dyan. No? Na kung saan, the objective of CRM, Customer Relations Management, is to make the customer happy. Actually, to surprise the customer.
Summary, kuya. Summary.
Oo. Now, yun po ang system na pinresent natin. Nag-iiba ito lahat. This is now the new governance, no? And to add, kasi wala na yata akong oras. Eric, I used to host a 4-hour show in GNN, remember? But because you're so nice, I'm willing to reduce it to 1 hour.
Yun, 1 hour lang ang forum natin.
Pwede lang humangyari ito kasi mayroon tayong presidente na ganito. At kami actually ang naghahabol eh. Kasi inunahan niya na kami. Sinabi niya, ayaw ko ng pila. Gusto kong bawasan yung requirement.
Nahahabol naman eh.
Nahahabol naman. But
Kitang-kita naman ang nangyari.
we need to translate it. No? So to end my portion, ang trabaho actually ng think tank is, minomonitor namin yung sinasabi ng presidente. Tinatranslate namin yan into policies, programs, or projects. Tapos sinasubmit namin sa kanya. Thank you.
Yung trabaho nila eh, yung pagka nalulubak sa kalye, sila yung nagpapatse. Ha? Ang bilis ng pagpapatse. Yan ang kagandahan itong grupong ito. At you'll know more in the future about this, no?
It's nice to hear that President Duterte is being supported by a lot of think tank groups. I think your group is the second already. No? My question is, have you not observed that the President is quite slow in his appointment? Up to now, it's already August 4, August
Good
5.
question. Tama yung katanungan mo eh. Marami na ako narinig about this eh. Na medyo nadidemoralize na yung mga tumulong. Tapos nandun na eh. Sayang yung effort nung tinatawag na search committee. Matagal nang na-deliver. Months na na-deliver yung mga names. Pero mukhang merong tao within this group na siyang gumagawa ng ngayon, look what happened. Ang naiipit ang presidente. Plus, ang problema dyan, nagpipiesta yung mga mafia from within in its agency. nagpipiesta eh. Alam mo naman, just like any other government in the past, no? Pag kami nakaupong bagong secretary o bagong director, pag hindi nakiayon sa mafia, sisiraan, kung ano-anong ginagawa, tapos kakasuhan pa. Kaya dapat siguro, pag-alaala nyo dito, Alex, dahil ito ang malaking problema ng isang governance. Na kahit na gusto mong gumawa ng kabutihan, ay hindi nagagawa dahil merong mafia from within, na gumagawa ng mga kalokohan. Ngayon lang, ang dami sa media ngayon, hindi nakakakolekta. Bakit? Yung dating SOP, hindi, kailangan itong COA. Kung ano-ano hinahanap, kailangan notaryo. Delaying tactic. Bakit nakakaganon? Kasi wala yung boss eh. O meron man boss doon, hindi na makagalaw dahil nga sa naghihintay ng kapalit. Kaya talagang ang ating presidente has still to act. Pa siya na makailang, sa kunin yung papeles, sa nandiyon yung hawak na mga listahan na yan, ilabas na yan. Dahil kung hindi, tapos na eh. Nagbigay ng 1 month na deadline, di ba? July 31. Ano ngayon? 5 na, wala pa. Ina-expect no Monday na mailagay na yung mga tao sa pwestong gagawa ng tulong sa kanya. Kaya nahahamper, lalong lumalaki ang problema. Kung butit mayroong mga private NGOs na tumutulong kay Presidente, kundi, laki ng problema.
In the case of the GOCCs, perhaps many of you know it already, that the justification, that can be called a justification, why it is taking a little more time, is that the head of the government-owned corporations who is supposed to supervise the appointments or screen the appointments has not been confirmed yet. Meaning
Ito na. Ano, yung GOCC, isa lang yan eh.
yes,
Ang laki nitong ano eh. Sino naghahanda? Di ba PMS yan dapat? Sino ba dapat naghahanda niyan? From the search committee, sino ang next unit na maghahanda niyan para mailabas yan? Di ba? Either Executive Secretary, PMS, kaya dapat siguro si Secretary Bongo madaliin ang trabaho. Dahil balita natin inumpisa na rin siyang gibain kung ano-ano na yung lumalabas ng mga white paper against him. Kaya dapat bilisan niya. Full speed ahead, Secretary ko. Baka maunahan ka ba?
Regarding the brief presentation of the first, actually that is the first recommendation in our folio that we submitted to the President. I put it this way: once this is implemented and we are giving ourselves with Ike Seneres, who is now being considered to head this particular spatial project, within 1 month, Juan de la Cruz, who may be up in the mountains in Jolo, as long as he has a cell phone, he can even talk to the President for anything. That's what this 24/7 is all about. And the nicest thing about it is that with the existing facilities of the government, particularly the hardware of this system, they are available. They are in many offices of the different departments and Malacanang itself. I saw it, the facilities. Hanggang ngayon panahon pa na GMA, nung makita ko yun, hindi ko na-utilize properly. So what I can tell you, this can be immediately implemented, including talking directly to the President. Of course, technologically yan, maaaring naka-record, but you can really talk to the President personally through the technology in a matter of seconds. That is what the world of internet is all about. We considered the budget, but I am declaring in behalf of Ike, baka mamaya kung meron kayong hanapong sisihin, siya po yun, hindi ako. Wala akong budget na pinipare in the initial implementation of this system to the fullest.
Natitigan ko lang yung PI ka. Kasi ang talking to experience with the people of Digong. Kasi sabi ng Presidente, dapat ang Cabinet Secretary open ang mga cellphone. Wala na makausap ngayon eh. Tell me, sino sa inyo nakakausap pa yung mga ano? Except, like Secretary Tugade, Secretary Basco, mabilis sumasagot yan. Pero what about the others? Lalo na yung ating linya, yung kahanay natin, si Martin Andanar. Na, alam mo, kahit na hindi bali man lang na marami kasi nagagalit ngayon, narinig mo yun sa radyo, na gustong tumulong ng mga tao dahil sinabi ng Presidente na tulungan ng gobyerno, pero ni ho, ni man lang sumasagot sa cellphone. Siguro ang pinakamaganda sa mga cabinet secretary ay maglagay na isang tao na maghahawak ng kanilang cellphone. Na meron, pagkano, pwede ba to? Anong maganda sagot dito? Na-adjust kagad. Kaysa sa ganyan na, ang napapaya dito, yung Presidente. Kaya, lukot hapin nung ginawa niya no, na sabi nakakaiyak, chopot, tapos na-upset doon sa zona yung ating mga kabayan, including us. Hindi ka pala nung sinabi ng una, 3 general, iba, 5 pa lang. Diba? Nadagdagan pa. So, itong mga maliit na bagay na to means a lot to all of us, lalo sa media. Alam mo, mga media matampuhin ay.
Eric, yung personal cellphones nila, kanila yun eh. But the system we're putting up, pag tumawag ka, mayroong ticketing system. Ilalag yung call mo.
Tama yun, call center.
Yes, i-issue ka ng ticket. Yung system, mayroong aging, no? So, malalaman ng system, ilang araw na, ilang buwan na. Lahat ito nare-reflect sa dashboard na nakikita ng Presidente. And then, mayroong tinatawag na yung rating system, sinong mga ehensya mabagal, mabilis. No? So, if you want an official action, doon kayo dadaan. Hindi doon sa personal number ng mga secretary. Yeah.
Okay lang yan, no? Pero, let's face it, no? Marami sa atin, lalo sa media, na meron tayong mga personal numbers nitong mga taong ito. Kaya yun hanggang wala pa yung call center na sinasabi mo ay dapat ina-address kagad ito immediately. Dahil sa laki ng problema ng bayan, ma-upset ka. Bibira yung pala ng Gerald Galvante ng LTO na kahit na alam mo na nagkakandalo ko na, nagkahirap na hirap na sa kanyang trabaho sa LTO, sasagot pa rin ng text yan. Pero ilan yan. Kaya yung parallel na gagawin mo ay dapat ngayon pa lamang ay meron ng yung secretary, meron ng isang tao, hoy, Dekam, ikaw ang bahala rito sumagot ng cellphone ko. Kung ayaw kong kasapin, sabi mo, mamaya na lang. Ganda lang. One text away, ano ba yung isang text lang? Napakasimple lang yan. Pero yung damdamin ng taong bayan na naghihintay ng kasagutan, naghihintay kung natanggap talaga yung text nila, madali magtampo tao, lalong-lalo na kung sensitive yung mga information. At bibira yun din yung kapatid ni Gerald De La Rosa na kahit ng daming problema, ay siya mismo personally sumasagot sa kanyang cellphone. At ang bilis! Yung huli lang kagabi, ay alam ko saan nanggaling yung information eh. Kahapon lang binigay sa kanya yun, huli kagabi. Ay by high-end yun. Ito na makikita kung gaano kasinsirang tao na nagtatrabaho sa gobyerno. So, we really have to do something about this dahil tayo nagtutulungan, citizenry, media, taong gobyerno, NGOs na kapareho ninyo na tumutulong din. We really have to get our act together kung talagang gusto natin na magbago itong sistema natin.
Actually sa Facebook, no, may tinatawag na PM, di ba? PM lang talaga yon. Pero pag may sumagot ka agad-agad, live chat na yon. Yun ang ina-ambisyon natin. Na kahit sino, pag nag-PM ka sa Office of the President, may sasagot sa'yo. Uy, may sumagot. May totoong tao. Yan ang ina-ambisyon natin. Sa text din, Eric, no? Kasi pag lahat ng Pilipino magte-text sa isang cellphone, talagang mabubulunan yun eh. May pa system na nasa server na ang texting, no? Na sasagutin din kaagad. No? But we're still laying the groundwork for that.
Yung sinabi mo, Eric, mabagal ang appointment ng mga sa mga iba-ibang posisyon. Palagi ko ang problema, dalawa lang pinagkakatiwalaan ni President Duterte para sa selection process, si Bongo at saka si Johnny Basco. Ang problema, itong dalawa naman, hindi naman kilala yung mga nanonominate. Kaya nung mga first month, ang nangyari, puros mga recycled sa DOST, sa DepEd, kung saan. Kaya makikita na sa ibang department, tulad ng sa DOST, dahil recycled ang appoint doon, mga recycle din ng mga ideas sa mga project.
Trash in, trash out.
Oh, garbage in, garbage out. Kaya dapat ma-improve yung selection process. Yung mamimili, dapat may malawak na.
Nakita ko yung composition ng search committee. Ang gagaling. Ha? Saka mahusay ng mga bata. Pero tingnan mo, sayang yung effort nila. Pagdating sa taas, hindi gumagalaw eh. At masama pa, medyo pangit lang pakinggan yung mga ibang input na dapat ay yan ang ma-address. Dahil kung ano na speculation, at parang pangit pakinggan. Kaya hindi ko na sasabihin sa inyo na dapat talaga i-address bago mag-isip pa na kung ano-ano ang taong bayan sa kung bakit talaga nadidelay, nakahamper yung ganyang klaseng mga
Will actually be on industrialization of the country. And that will mean requiring a lot of energy or power in order for us to industrialize. So, to the group of Pedrosa, and they will present their paper tomorrow during our convener meeting, is precisely to spearhead the idea of reviving it. Why? Because according to him, and we have the papers, I was furnished advance copy of the papers, that our present source of energy, which is coal-oriented, is more controversial in terms of environmental consideration. On the other hand, we also have in our science and technology expert in the cluster, a professor at the geology department, because one of the things that has been thrown around as far as the revival is concerned is that there is a fault right near, if not right at the site in Morong of this. This requires really a public forum to the maximum. So we are going to schedule this by next month, and we would like, this is an appeal to the media, to help us disseminate this so that this will be properly discussed, thoroughly discussed, which is the idea of the think tank convener. Full discussion of any issues and recommendation that
Nanunsyo na ni Presidente, tatanggalin niya na yung mga fish pen sa Laguna de Bay. Grabe yan, as in grabe, revolutionary yan. All of us have been dreaming of that all these years. Ngayon, inunahan niya na tayo. But that is not all eh. Kasi, ang dami pa problema dun eh. May janitor fish doon, may knife fish, may mercury. Grabe ang pollution ng Laguna de Bay. So, kailangan pang pag-isipan, ano magagawin natin? Kasi mabilis itong presidente na to eh. Inanunsyo niya na rin, wala nang illegal logging, illegal mining. Ano gagawin natin dyan? That needs a lot of thinking pa eh. No? Inanunsyo na rin yung ENDO, the end of ENDO. Yung ENDO mismo, ENDO na.
Tama yan.
But, alam mo, my brother must be laughing in his grave, ha? Kasi siya nagsimula niyan, eh.
Tama.
Si Roy, ang nilalabanan niya yung contractualization, pero ako nag-introduce sa kanya ng term na ENDO.
Tama.
Oo. But mayroon pang...
Talagang potential na TOEFL award dito.
May kasama ang ENDO na hindi pa natin napapansin. Is getting away. Sinabi ko rin kay Roy, at the same time I told him about ENDO. Mayroong DEDO. DEDO. Alam niyo ba yun?
Hindi.
Kung lampas kalendaryo ka na, DEDO ka na. Yeah, hindi ka na ma-hire.
Age limit, pero hindi
Well, but a lot of thinking has to be done. Eh. So, ang parting words ko, pag nagsalita si Presidente, wag lamang tayo pumalakpak. We have to do something also. Kasi nag-invite na siya eh. Tulungan niyo ako. Di ba? Pag hindi natin siya tinulungan, eh mag-isa na lang siya. Di ba? Alright, yun po. Thank you very much.
Ang isang pinaka-importante na ngayon, pare-pareho tayong naapektuhan ng itong traffic na katarantaduhan nitong mga kawatan, no? Tanggalin na yung MMDA. Tanggalin yung MMDA, implement yung kanilang report sa Presidente kung paano gagawin, maniwala kayo. Luluwag. Ha? Katulong si Secretary Tugade. Kaya yan. Itong mga MMDA, yan ang pahamak. Pahamak sa sistema natin. Believe me, Mr. President, move as fast as you can.
This is actually our official launching to the public through this forum about the think tank. Unfortunately, the brochure that we have already prepared, baka hindi pa ho natatapos. Kaya ho, sa next Friday ninyo, we will have the brochure ready for distribution. Ang aming pong webpage ay usbong.
Galaw-gaw, kay harot-harot tingnan maliksi, di mapigil ang gaslaw. Galaw-gaw, ang lahat ginagalaw, napakaharot at pakialaw. Galaw-gaw, kung tawagin siya'y ganyan kang karot, na trumpong tumatarang. Galaw-gaw, nakalilitong masdan at haliparot kahit saan.